This is Sarah Adams and I'm and Anastasia, and I'm here to talk about what I would consider a pretty wonderful timeline upgrade that we have just gone through, and I want to talk about it at a personal level and at a universal, kind of galactic universal level, because it feels like both things are happening. And so as I talk about my life as Sarah Adams and my life being a journey for the last really 31 years of lifting fear and coming more and more into an experience of love. Hello, mosquito. And before I took this plane to Kauai on April 6th, I knew that I was going for some grid work to work with the earth. And I knew that it was about flying into the arms of love, that it was about leaving the fear and beginning to build a bridge across a great divide that would enable love-based reality to anchor more firmly into my body and into the earth. So before I went, this is what I knew was going to happen. And so I want to sing just a piece of a little song to kind of bring us into this feeling of moving from a fear-based reality into a love-based reality and crossing a great vast chasm to bring into being a world beyond fear. So, Ryan, can you take the phone? Because I'm going to sing a song.
Yes.
So I'm going to sing just a piece of Tina Malia's Shores of Avalon, because this song for me has been really an anthem to this experience of dreaming of a world where the masculine and the feminine are together and there is no more fear and love is the order of the day. And this is, again, Tina Malia, Shores of Avalon. Be brave, my love, the time has come to cross the Tintangale Sea. The essence of the apple blossoms have all been beckoning, and there we'll stand, looking out upon the world that we've known. All fear will be gone as we reach the shores of Avalon. So I'm going to kind of move to the next section in the song. Feel the wind on your face as we cross the stormy seas. Close your eyes, don't look back. There's nothing left to see. Now in these words right here, it's like we're building the portal of the new earth and literally manifesting it out of thin air in this section right here. The other night you came to me like an angel, you appeared, and we climbed the endless skies and held each other near, and there we'll stand, looking out upon the world that we've known. All fear will be gone when we reach the shores of Avalon. When we reach the shores of Avalon. When we reach the shores of Avalon. Be brave, my love. So that song kind of botched up the chords in the middle, but that song is really about this weaving together of the masculine and feminine to enable a portal into timelines of love. And paradisical earth is a beacon for us in 3D fallen earth at this time to help us remember that gateway, to help us bring forth the love-based reality into this world and inseminate this world with that love that beckons us into our fully remembered divine blueprint. And this is what my trip to Kauai was really about. Kauai is the site, oh yes, Kauai is the site of the 12th Stargate. And the 12th Stargate opens into paradisical future Earth. It's the final Stargate of Earth. So it's like the crowning of Mother Earth. Right into her crown comes this 12th Stargate. And it is aligned with paradisical future Earth. And so what I believe, and as I've said, these experiences, for me, I'm still putting together the pieces of truly what's happened, because it's as if the understanding is unfolding like a tesseract, you know, like a flower blossoming. It's coming into more and more complete understanding. So at this time, my understanding is that I went to Kauai so that my body could be a bridge, so that the Divine Mother could come through my body and apprehend the negative alien architecture in the Earth grid that needed to be pulled out of the Earth grid, so that she could reconnect, the Divine Mother could reconnect her circulatory system, her plasma light love could start to come into the Earth and pull it away from negative alien possession. And I was going to draw this little picture of this for you. In 1985, I had a dream. Oh, is my orange pen out here? It was, but I don't see it. Oh, yeah. Thanks, honey. Incorporated into the art supplies. So in 1985, I had a dream. And let's see if I'll just draw it this way. And in the dream, the Carl's Jr. Happy Star, right? So funny how we're children and we see those yellow happy stars at Carl's Jr. and we go, happy. So in my dream, there were these happy stars. And there were actually 3 of them. I don't know if the number's important. What's important is the basic concept of these happy stars. And they were in the basement of Carl's Jr. So it was the basement, right? Mother Star was up here off the board somewhere. And she was calling on the telephone. And she was calling to her babies. And she was saying, I guess I better do 3 because in my dream there were 3. I don't know what that represents. But she was calling to her babies. And she said, I need to know that you can still do the happy dance. Because you're in the land of the metal thing. The metal thing. And so I need to know that you can still do the happy dance. And the man holding the stars for ransom and torturing them in the basement of Carl's Jr. answers the phone. And he puts the phone to the ears of the stars and they go, happy, happy, happy. We are very happy. And she goes, oh my God, they've been caught. Okay, so that dream in 1985 was Divine Mother realizing that her baby stars in the human family on Earth were in a satanic matrix, being kidnapped and held hostage, and the guy that was the guy in Carl's Jr. was I called him in my dream the metal spatula man because he was smashing them down on the grill. Okay. So this smashing architecture of the metal spatula man, which I'm not going to draw that, represents the artificial intelligence, the mind control, the inorganic grid, which allows negative aliens to have possession of our Christed earth. So that dream, 1985, right? Well, what happened in Kauai was Mother breached the basement of Carl's Jr. She went in there, she ripped her stars out from under the architecture, and she took them back. And it's only a matter of time before it's a bust. She busted through this architecture, this negative alien architecture, and she, I can only imagine that, how to understand this. This is where we need to talk about the Earth and the poles of the Earth. So every ascending planet has a 90-degree pole. There is no ascending planet that has a 23.5-degree tilt away from 90 degrees. It doesn't exist. So our Earth has, as we know, 23.5-degree, right? The ecliptic, the obliquity of the ecliptic. I remember in astronomy class learning about that. And I walked around going, obliquity of the ecliptic. So this 23.5-degree tilt is caused by the negative aliens harnessing the Earth into that tilt to feed their dark world, which will be the brown side of the board. It didn't. It's just there. I don't have any more space. So Mother has to pull the Earth back toward that 90 degree angle. So what I think happened in Kauai under the 12th Stargate is the Divine Mother energy using my body as a portal coming from Andromeda took this pole and started, put a harness on it, pulled out some really nasty architecture and started pulling it back towards 90 degrees. So right now we're on our way back. to 90 degrees for the first time. For the very first time. They've had control for 13,000 years, pretty much. And so this descent into the artificial machinery of the basement at Carl's Jr., it's the best metaphor, is that dream, and putting these guys out of business and starting to put those guys out of business. And of course, it's going to be this is a gradual thing, because as we transform, for thousands of years, our DNA has been in separation consciousness. Anastasia's really excited about this. I think that means something. We should stop and celebrate. So this is celebration. Why don't we sing can we sing a celebration song really quick? Yeah, she knows. She knows all of this. Yeah. So let's do a celebration song. Okay. So this, my favorites. Can I put it down there?
Yeah, lean it up against the pole so the sound catches you.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Which side
Cool.
is the mic on?
It's actually facing right here. I'll fix it for you.
Okay.
Hi, sweetie.
So the best celebration song I know is Om Shanti, I am joy. Om Shanti, I am love. Om Shanti, I am joy. Om Shanti, I am love. Om Shanti, I am joy. Om Shanti, I am love. Om Shanti, I am joy, and I am light, and I am love. Try that with me. Ready? Om Shanti, I am joy. Om Shanti, I am love. Om Shanti, I am joy. Om Shanti, I am love. Om Shanti, I am joy. Om Shanti, I am love. Om Shanti, I am joy, and I am light, and I am love. Good. And now the next part is all the love that's in the world, in every boy and every girl, is in you, is in me. All the love that's in the world, all the love that's in the world, in every boy and every girl, is in you, is in you. This song is truly, we may have to have her go somewhere else because I can't really focus. So I love her, but I can't, it'll take me off focus. But so the difference between an ascended earth and a fallen earth is the unification of the masculine and the feminine energy. So it is when we say all the love that's in the world, in every boy and every girl, is in you. Hopefully we can come back and play with Anastasia soon. So all the love that's in the world, in every boy and every girl, is in you. And that song is celebrating that union of the masculine and feminine. So everyone, just take your right hand and your left hand and just bring them together. Just feel that the left brain, right? The right hand is that left brain, and the left hand is the right brain. And maybe even interlace the fingers. This is the unification of the electro and the magnetic. And this is what brings Christ to the earth, is this sacred marriage. So everything that, I'll just speak from my personal experience, everything that has prepared me to serve as a bridge from paradisical earth to the core of fallen third dimensional earth, everything that has made that bridge possible is this union of the masculine and feminine, this deepening upgrade of self-love that comes when the feminine aspect and the masculine aspect of self begin to interweave. And for me, this upgrade has been pretty much a 27-year journey of romantic love, serving as an upgrade, almost, what's the word? like a scaffolding that has called me to ever more union with myself. I'll fall in love. I'll not be able to be with the person. I'll have to grieve. And then I will come to union in myself. And I've been through 27 scaffoldings of lover and beloved, through the grief and loss, falling in love, losing, and then mending, falling in love, losing, and then mending. Every time increasing the interface between the masculine and the feminine, all the way from dimensions 1 to dimensions 12. So this, if we think of the remembered Stargate of the ascended Earth, it is full and fluid interchange between the electro and the magnetic. And so what was happening on Kauai is I was going into that architecture that severs the masculine from the feminine. The way negative aliens maintain control over the earth is through severing the masculine from the feminine. Every single one of us, every sentient being on this earth has had the mother ripped from their mitochondrial DNA. That is the site of the massacre of the mother. And every one of us was left motherless, and a false grid was installed, gender splitting us from the two sides of our double helix. We got first, second, and third dimension without damage, but beyond the third dimension, very little interface, because they don't want light body in the physical body. They don't want it to have an architecture. So they give us architecture of embodiment up to the third dimension, which keeps us in fear-based reality. So when I left for that trip, I was really saying, I don't want to be in fear-based reality anymore. I have lived 32 years with panic anxiety every day of my life. The suffering under this fear grid is beyond anything I could even begin to tell you. But when I left on that plane, I felt that I was giving the universe an ultimatum, that I was going to be lifted beyond fear. And I need to mention that Bernie Sanders is the strongest, most beautiful representation of the divine masculine. It was at his in the Moda Center at Portland on Good Friday. I didn't even realize it was Good Friday.
It's a good one.
There were 26,500 people there. And I went through one of the biggest panic attacks of my life. My body felt like it was being ripped literally apart. And then it came back together again. It was triggered by hypoglycemia, but it was truly triggered from my galactic soul was demanding that humanity be given nourishment, that there be nourishment for all beings. And I walked up through the line and I said, I have to eat or I'm going to pass out. And they pushed me way forward in the line and then pushed me through security. My vision was literally going. Everyone took out my stuff in my purse and put it back in for me. And then they stuck me in this line to get a hot dog. And it was too long. And I said, no, I have to eat now. And I was literally the voice of humanity saying, we will have nourishment. We will live in love. We will have food now. We will. And I got to the line. I got my food. I got in. And I was in kind of critical condition. It was like all 12 dimensions had been blown apart, and I was Picasso's best painting. And it stayed like that. I tried to do work on myself and try to hook up meridians, and my friend Galen was working on different parts of my body with me. But it wasn't until Bernie Sanders, the bird, flew right by us, right by our faces, and Galen goes, that's a bird. But it wasn't until Bernie Sanders said, we demand universal health care. And everyone started pounding. 26,500 people. Bernie, all 12 dimensions of my body linked up through the whole grid. So the me that was brought into I was torn apart and put back together at a higher timeline because of Bernie Sanders, because of the incredible beauty of him.
He's being used. I mean, he doesn't.
No, he doesn't.
He's being used.
He's being used by the greatest forces in the universe of love and peace and beauty and oneness. And it was that upgrade that made me able to do what I did in Kauai. That's why I have to say a shout out to whatever beings that he represents. Whatever he represents is a very divine force for good and for upliftment. So anyway, I had to mention that, because without that upgrade, I would not have been able to serve as that bridge. And so it's all pretty radical stuff, I know, but this is what
date
happened.
Were you there, Sarah? When were you
I was there from the 6th to the 15th
April?
of April. And we were going to...
That's when Sam was having his panic attacks. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
He thought he had a brain tumor.
Yeah, we were clearing what was happening, you guys, during that time, whatever you guys went through during 6th to the 15th of April. We were preparing because this full moon that came in on the 20th and 21st of April had 5 planets retrograde. We had a plasma event, which means we were getting more plasma light, which means more earth changes, which means, danger. Because
we had all the earthquakes.
We had,
major ones
we had
around the world.
43 volcanoes. We had tons of earthquakes. It would have been so much worse if I hadn't done what I did in Kauai. I don't even know what it would have looked like, because we moved the timeline. We shifted the timeline. And see, when the earth was really under the negative alien grid, Divine Mother's grid was out here, and the earth was stuck in a different grid. So all we could hope for when there was plasma light, coming, solar flares and plasma light and all the pressure, all we could hope for was a breach in the wall for a minute, and then there'd be some destruction and the wall would get thinner. But we penetrated the wall. We brought the earth into a whole new timeline. So now it's like we can respond creatively when these big light bursts come. We don't have to have destruction. I'm not saying there's not going to be earth changes, because there still will be, but it's going to be a lot softer and a lot smoother, because we're not looking at 2 diametrically opposed grids. We're now inside the loving influence of like the Divine Mother's womb. We're growing in the Divine Mother's womb now. So this is a time where we're more able to receive the gentle sweetness of Divine Mother than ever before.
And I'm just getting, and to share that with others, even if they're not conscious of it.
Doesn't matter, I don't think.
No, it doesn't.
Just to emanate it.
So it's more than hold. It's allow to move through.
Yeah, it's like
because I've been holding in. Anyway.
Yeah.
I've been holding and thinking I had to whatever, but it's like we're all part of it now.
We're all emissaries of it now. It's like all of us. It's like
whether you're conscious or not.
It's like the perfume that's wafting through us, because we're in a new timeline. It's like,
Everyone wants it. They want that nourishment.
Everyone wants the mother. All suffering is really due to that loss of the mother. Everyone wants the mother's love, even if they don't know it.
Were there other people working with you?
In Kauai?
Well, or around the planet or whatever?
No, as far as I knew, I was alone. But I have so many of my friends, like Nolani and Heather and all of you guys. This is all of our timeline. We're all lifting this veil together. Yeah. Every one of us. Every time we feel that we're jumping into a void and we don't, and we're holding the vision for something higher. We're changing that staff position just a little bit, right? Almost like the imaginal cells in the caterpillar. It's like those imaginal cells. We are all those imaginal cells that are, with courage, taking the path less traveled. Like Kate coming from New Mexico and following that call of your heart. There it is. That's the bridge, like Raven feeling that, wanting to go to Seattle and going for a while and then coming back, and like Heather and all that you do in so many ways. I mean, it's like we're all in this beautiful upgrade. Yeah. And so what happened at the Nepali coast, my beautiful, beautiful, beautiful Divine Mother, she is the personification for me of the Divine Mother, is the woman who I lived with her husband in Kauai. And we knew we were going to do something on the Nepali coast. But it was this romantic idea. We're going to have a vision quest. It's going to be so beautiful. We're going to get answers to our next steps in life. It's this romantic idea. And for her, it was one of the most beautiful days of her life. For me, it was hell on earth. But I needed her to take off on the trail, and she was going to go much further than I could. And I was going to be left with the car to pick her up. And she said, I'll either meet you at the car or I'll find you on the beach. And I thought, oh, she'll be back in about 2 hours. That was it. I thought maybe 1.5, maybe 2 hours, she'll be back. Well, at the 2-hour mark when she wasn't back, I started feeling this really strange sense of, I can't communicate with her. I can't drive back, it's too far. But I can't stay because I'm going to go crazy. I could feel this sense of, I can't stay here. I can't be here. And I started pacing on the beach. And I started feeling this incredible, like I was inside no man's land. I could feel like my very presence was being canceled out 360 degrees. And I was walking back and forth on the beach, and I kept saying, cursed communication, where am I? What am I doing? Why am I here? I can't be here, but I have to pick her up. I can't be here, but I can't go. Well, Divine Mother had descended into my body and was inside the artificial intelligence grid and was saying, cursed communication, holy shit. Divine Mother had come through into the Carl's Jr. basement and through my body and my consciousness, and was looking at the architecture and was dismantling it. And my human self could do nothing but just sit on that beach and be like, oh my God, what's happening to me? So about 2 hours, I just felt that sense of I can't go and I can't stay. And I was very confused. I'm closing my eyes because I'm just trying to, I didn't know what was happening to me. But after 3 hours, I had the thought, I'm going to go get a burger. As soon as I had that thought, I had an I. So the self came back. There was a self. And that's at that time, Divine Mother had finished her occupation of me. I was now me again. But it was so wild because I went to go get a burger. I thought there were hamburgers. Sorry if you're vegetarians. I would like to be, but my body seems to need the grounding. When in Rome, eat a piece of the Romans. I'm not from here. I'm from the Unity Grid in Andromeda, so it's really kind of, thank you cows, thank you sacred cows. I don't do it very often, but I was thinking, I need a burger. So I didn't find a burger, but I found a sushi place called Sushi Girl. And in this sushi place, the woman there, she said, where are you from? And I said, I'm from Oregon. She goes, where in Oregon? I said, I'm from Portland. She goes, I lived in Portland for 10 years. Where in Portland? And then she's like, I'm in Southeast. And then she goes, where in Southeast? I go, outer Southeast. I was like, what is this woman? What's she doing? Well, that was Google Earth. She was taking me from the universal core all the way back to my body. And then she said, are you near Leach Botanical Gardens? I saw a hole in the wall in the end of the road in Kauai, and this little sushi girl, and I'm like, Yes. And she goes, what's your address?
Which bedroom do you have?
I said 12145 Southeast Brookside Drive. Right into the pinpoint. I remembered I have a husband. I have 2 cats. I live in Portland, Oregon. I mean, that was the return, right? I was no longer being used by the Universal Core. I was now back in the body. I had a home. I had a cat. I went back to pick up Elizabeth, and she was actually going, where were you? I practically cussed her out in 50 languages. But I just said, you don't know what I've been through. It was so horrible. She goes, honey, I was on a vision quest, drinking of Divine Mother. So she was in the total experience of complete fusion with Divine Mother. And I was in the experience of Divine Mother descending into the hellhole pit, artificial intelligence, black magic grids of fallen, I don't want to keep swearing, Earth. While she was out there just like, oh, it's so beautiful. And she forgave. I said, you know what, honey? This was the grid work. This is it. And I actually knew the minute I was on that beach and I started just feeling this bigger, larger than life energy, and I was trapped in the middle, I stopped and said, this is the grid work. I knew that this is it. My friend said, how will you know what you're actually doing over there? And I'm like, I don't know. I really don't have any idea. But on the beach there, KA Beach, I said, this is it. This is the grid work. So I looked at Elizabeth. I said, honey, it's not your fault. I think this had to happen. You had to leave, and we had to have no connection. And my phone to Frank had to break. Because if my personality identity had been reinforced to my husband, they would not have been able to take me into Universal Core. So his phone broke. It was ripped out of his pocket, thrown in the middle of the street, and cracked. So the bunny to bunny hotline was officially null and void.
And that woman, I mean,
Yeah, that's why.
Elizabeth is one of my best friends in the world. I mean, she just
Yeah,
said,
the
honey, it's
sushi
all
lady.
good.
No, the sushi
The
lady.
sushi lady.
I mean, was she an angel that just
Yeah.
materialized? and
Yeah,
then
she must
dematerialized?
My angel said that I set her up to be my Google Earth,
Definitely.
to bring me back. Because I was just I was kind of irritated. Why do you need, what? What's your address? Oh. I was like, I have cats. I have a husband. I actually thought of the husband before the cats, just to let you know.
It's okay. They're with you all day. I keep leaving.
Keep believing. So anyway, guys, in the long and the short of it is, a beautiful upgrade happened. We are in the trajectory of the Christed timeline more than we've ever been. There will be much less destruction than there would have been had this alignment not happened. And yeah, does anybody have any questions?
Are we totally back to 90 degrees, or are we on
No, absolutely not. Everyone would be killed if we all of a sudden ripped out all the AI architecture, because our genetic code is infiltrated with all this architecture. The immune system, everyone would die. We couldn't do it. The change has to happen in a linear fashion, or the immune system just flips out. It can't code. I mean, you guys know we've been going through so much change, and it's overwhelming. And we're only just doing baby steps. But this is how I see it. So they gave me an image because I was asking my guides. I was like, you got to do better than this. This is so friggin' far out. I don't even understand. And they showed me this lasso. So if you think of the negative aliens as having a lasso on the pole of the earth and pulling it in their direction, what Divine Mother did through my body is she got a lasso hold on the earth, and she's now pulling it toward her direction. But it can only go in a linear fashion toward her direction, because we have to respect the human organism that can only handle so much change, right? And it's been pushing us to our limit. I mean, speaking for most of my friends are just like, oh, what the f-? So yeah, I would say, and oh, I forgot to tell, something very important. So on Valentine's Day, when these big shifts occur on the outer planes, like in the physical earth, they first occur on the inner planes. It's just kind of how it works. They happen on the inner planes first, then the earth moves in that way. So on Valentine's Day, at about 5 o'clock in the afternoon, I experienced in about, I don't know, honey, it was about 10 minutes. In 10 minutes, I experienced probably, give me a number, guys. I have no clue. I experienced the entire ascension of planet Earth. I saw the whole thing. I saw the staff going all the way to 90 degrees. I saw every stargate opening up one by one. I saw 5D Gaia aligning. I saw 7D Gaia aligning. I saw 12D Gaia aligning into paradisical crystalline Earth. I saw aurora spaceships over the whole Earth beaming rainbow colors into the core, and crystals were blossoming out of the center of the Earth. And this has got to be probably a 500-year vision in 10 minutes. But I saw it on Valentine's Day. So that's when the staff moved on the inner planes into alignment, which is what made possible what happened through me in Kauai, was made possible by the shift that happened on Valentine's Day.
You mean it's going to take 500 years for all this to happen? Is that what you're saying?
I don't know.
Oh, what did you mean by 500-year vision?
I don't know. It could be 200. It could be 300. I have no clue. But it's far in the future. I saw all the way to the end of the reign of darkness. Any darkness on the earth. And that's a ways out. I mean, it'd be nice if it were tomorrow, but I think it's a ways out. I mean, I don't know how far out. Maybe it's only 50 years out. I actually, honestly, really.
They say that when the first contact comes and stuff like that, which, they keep saying it's not that far away.
Yeah.
Who knows? But then, things will accelerate a lot. And then
yeah.
It might still be even in our lifetime.
Yeah, it might. I'm hoping it's in our lifetime. I mean, I really want to see that. Like the next vision that I really see is if we think of the body of unity as an organism that is birthing into the earth. It's like all of us are its cells, and I'm seeing these prototypal cells living in community on land. So they're working with the earth grid. They're gardening, and they're singing to the earth, and they're compassionately working on creating more and more unity among each other as they live in celebration of the life force. And they become prototypal cells in the body of unity. And the more they blossom, and the more they connect to the other communities, the more we begin to actually birth this body of unity on the earth. And that's what takes us into the full ascension, is that body of unity birthing through our interconnection with each other. That's literally what does it. We are the interstitial tissue that builds the body of the unity logos and takes us out of darkness through loving each other, through living together, through finding our networks that we're really, like, where is our highest potential union, right? Like, we know that all the liver cells work together to do that quintessential function of the liver. We know that all the heart cells work together to be that quintessential functioning heart. So for us to be united into our optimal places in the body of that unity intelligence. And I see that now that we have Divine Mother really asserting her influence, that we're going to get more clarity about where we belong and who we belong with. Because there are people we belong with. There are places we belong, just like a liver cell belongs in the liver, And I'm like really looking for, where are my people? Like maybe all of you guys are my people, but I want to live on the land in a community and be a prototypal cell in that body and go back and forth, one of the communities is in Kauai. Elizabeth is putting the roots down with Thai for our Kauai community. And one of the communities is here in Pacific Northwest, and one of them is in Grass Valley. It's like a triangle, California. And at least that's the vision I'm getting, and my beautiful angel guides, Divine Grace, say that those 3 communities are on my timeline. So if you guys feel called, come and live with me on the land. So yeah, I don't know the timing of
Got
that
room
dream.
for a school bus?
Sure.
We're gonna live in a school bus, and we don't know where we're gonna park it yet.
Bring your school bus. Drive it around, man. You can go. You just have to take a plane when you come to Kauai.
Yeah.
You know.
We'll put the bus on a barge.
Yeah,
So there's this song that really just wants to come because it's just about this. Oops, what key am I in? We are all fish. If you know this, welcome to sing it. We are all fish in the same great sea, and we all carry the same dream. We are all gemstones in the same shining jewel, and we all carry the same dream. Now let's do this part together. So it's love is who we are, and we are love. Try that again. Love is who we are, and we are love. It's the dream of unity. It's a dream of you and me. It's the dream that every living heart is happy, healed, and free. It's the dream of unity. It's a dream of you and me. It's the dream that we are already dancing as one. Hello, happy, happy. We are all dolphins swimming through the foam, and we all hear the call for home. Yes, swimming through emotions we can't see. I am reaching out for you and you for me. It's the dream of unity. It's a dream of you and me. It's the dream that every living heart is happy, healed, and free. It's the dream of unity. It's a dream of you and me. It's the dream that we are already living as one. We are all cells in the body of humanity, and we all carry the same dream. Returning to our home as love, shining through eternity. It's the dream of unity. It's a dream of you and me. It's the dream that every living heart is happy, healed, and free. It's the dream of we know who we are. We shine bright like the star. Love flows through our veins as love we long to come again. unity. It's the dream of you and me. It's the dream that we are already dancing as one. See the stars say love flows through our veins. As love we long to come again. Let light shine into the darkest place on earth. Let every soul know its true worth. Let love rain from the heavens above. Let every soul be wrapped in love. Hi, sweetie. Hold the vision that we're already dancing, that we're already living as one. Hold the vision that we're already dancing, that we're already living as one. Good job! That we're already living. She's baptizing it with her love. As one. Thanks, everybody. If anybody has any more questions, I'm really happy to answer them. Cheetah! Cheetah! Oh, I forgot to talk about the mother ark. The mother ark is aqua blue. This is the color of the Divine Mother as she comes into the earth.
Sweetie.
And these rainbow colors, these are the colors, they're more pastel-y, but these are the colors of the rainbow dragon Aurora, who are the major workers in our ascension. And so I'm always wearing rainbows when I have powerful grid work to do, because it's really the rainbow re-encryption of our bodies from the inorganic carbon-based matrix, which always shows up as black, into the rainbow crystalline silicate matrix, which always shows up in the rainbows.
The Rainbow Bridge.
The Rainbow Bridge.
So, quick comment. I didn't really have a question on this one, but you can comment, of course.
Yeah.
When you were talking about the woman having her bliss experience,
Yes.
and you, in literally like a mile's distance, having the hell
Yeah.
experience, what it reminded me of is those pictures of the Earth ascension that we were all seeing during 2012 of like the dual Earth coming out in two parts, and like the infinity symbol happening between them.
Yes.
And then you know, of course, the
Yes.
oh, sweetie, that's the microphone. Here.
Yes,
That's
absolutely.
partly of, it's like the vision that what's happening for ascension is the Earth is splitting into a positive and a negative. And so I'm wondering if you're thinking that was just like the beginning of it, like the beginning of the split happening.
What I believe is that Elizabeth was holding space in the Divine Mother aspect already reclaimed, right? So that somehow that was balancing. Hi, that was balancing the pull, right? Almost like she was holding me in Divine Mother's home while I was being sent to the imposter land, the land of the imposter, to penetrate. Anastasia is celebrating some more. We should get a picture of her smiling face. So yeah, this actually makes me want to tell you guys a little teeny tiny piece of information that's actually really relevant. Up until 2001, the Earth was I'll tell you. I love having her here. I love, because the children are the ambassadors of the unity grid, and it's so precious in so many ways. So many ways. It's so beautiful to have her. So up until 2001, the Earth was slated to ascend like all other planets ascend, which is when 5D parallel Earth comes into the trajectory, we simply merge with its field, and the whole Earth goes from third to fifth dimension, which is painless and seamless. You wake up the next day and you're in the fifth dimension. It's easy. That's what we were slated for. When 9/11 happened, game changer. During 9/11, negative aliens managed to harness enough fear, to harvest enough fear, that they actually were able to threaten a full pole shift. And what happened is, like, the morning of 9/11, I can't remember which factions said basically to the Draconians and the Black Dragons, they said, and the Orion group, they said, we have enough light now that we need you to vacate. We need you to vacate these portions of the Earth grid now. And the Draconians, the Black Dragons, the Orion group, all said, up yours, basically. And they performed the terrorist attack, harnessed all the fear, and they said, we're not going anywhere. We can pull an entire pole shift if you make us leave. And so what happened was we lost organic ascension. We lost it because the Guardians had to close down the Stargate system because they were going to pull a full pole shift at that moment to punish the light from telling them to vacate. So what happened was, instead of us being able to use the Earth's Stargate system as really like a free ride into ascension, we now had to become the internal Stargates. Every human being on Earth now was going to have to be an internal Stargate to make the critical mass movement out of fear and into love. So it became, what was like an hour TV show became a freaking epic, like, Roots that was going to go on episode after episode, you know. So the simplicity of ascension, we were slated for that. But because of 9/11, we got a much more complex, we're going to have a heck of a lot more incredible story to tell each other in our core soul group around the, you know, the great fire in the sky.
That were even more catastrophic than that. I mean, not that that wasn't, but you're talking about the U.S. somehow specifically.
9/11 was,
I mean, there were
yeah, which
tsunamis,
events
there
are
were
you
all those other
thinking?
things. Well, there were tsunamis.
Well,
there
those were earth changes beginning.
you
That
mean something that was specifically manipulated.
yeah, there were, well, yeah, the negative aliens through HARP and through the mind control and the scalar waves can create earth changes, and they were still in control because we weren't going through ascension yet. But what really screwed us up, and I don't know if it was August of 2003 was when we were slated, I believe, for ascension. And everyone in my galactic group in energetic synthesis had a massive morning when we watched parallel fifth dimensional Earth on the horizon, and we couldn't go to it. I mean, there was a huge, huge sadness. It was unbelievable, but we lost that opportunity through 9/11. And so what happened is, in a sense, ascension became inscension. It was the inner Stargate of everybody's chakra systems. Healing the masculine and feminine split in everyone's body was going to have to be the critical mass embodiment of ascension, one human at a time, which is way more complex than the Earth just giving us her entire Stargate system to ascend through. So, yeah, once they closed down her Stargates, we began the arduous task of, you know, I was shown a vision after 9/11. It's so funny. I was like shown a vision. When I came to Earth on this mission, I was given like a backpack, like a contingency backpack. And they said, you know, you're probably not going to have to open this, but we're giving it to you anyway because you may. After 9/11, I had to open the backpack. It was, you know what I mean? I was going to have a child. I was going to have a life that was way more human and connected because I was just going to ascend with the Earth and it was all done. But as soon as they pulled 9/11, the orders of the highest grid work that was like the contingency grid work that they said, you're probably not going to have to do this. you're gonna have to do it. I pulled out the backpack and said, oh boy, I'm not having a child. I'm not having a job. I am one big enema portal to clear the dark from this earth. And that is my 24-hour job every moment of every day to get this earth into ascension. So all of us got more difficulty after 9/11. Every one of us. It was like, if you thought you weren't gonna do it, guess what, you're wrong. So, and of course the first wave of consciousness, which all of you guys are, and anybody who has any interest in this video are clearing the inorganic software from the grid for everyone who comes behind them in the second wave. And the second wave will be clearing it for everyone who comes behind in the third. But we're the frontline, shit-kicking frontliners that are really clearing the big stuff out of the way. And so that the second wave can make it, because they wouldn't be able to make it. We hold more duality in ourselves. We came here to do this work. In the first wave, we knew we could, right? We're doing it because we knew we could. And so we're doing it. So I try not to complain. But yeah, I'm kind of one of the front of the front. So I'm kind of like the sergeant military general of a huge army of light, you know. I don't remember volunteering for it, but it's been my life to bring Earth through and midwife her out of darkness and bring her into light. And I'm just now starting to feel the human being that is Sarah has not been served by my grid work. It's like I'll go do a big grid work for the whole earth and I'm still suffering as Sarah. But I'm just now starting to feel as this alignment with Divine Mother is changing my personal life. For the first time, I'm getting the benefits of the work that my higher self has been doing through my body. Thank you so much. It's about time. So anyway, yeah, it's probably time to go inside, but we can, if anyone has any more, like, they want to contribute or sing some songs, we can do that inside. But Ryan, yeah, so in answer to your question, here's what I see at this point. I see that everyone who is not choosing love is going to be off this planet. This planet has been selected for the Christ, right? It is its divine blueprint. And we didn't get to go through organic ascension, but we're doing it. We're having it. Or we are going through, we didn't get to go through Stargate organic ascension. We're going through organic human being critical mass ascension. But my understanding, and I could be wrong, you know, until these things actually happen, I don't know. But my understanding, my feeling is whoever is not in alignment with the Divine Mother is going to be evicted from the earth. And they'll be given another planet if they want to hang out in duality and do this game some more. You know, because everybody is loved. There's a way for everybody to come back into full alignment. It's just our timings are different. And we're going home. If you're not going home, you're getting off the earth, right? So we should see a lot of structures and corrupt systems. All secrets are going to be revealed in this time. We're lifting the veil of untruth. We're lifting the veil of corruption. Everything will be seen in the light of the Divine Mothers and the Divine Fathers and the Christed light. You know, and Yeshua and Mary came from Andromeda. They were coming right in to bring the Divine Mother. And so here we are, and we're all part of that family of Christ.
Felt really connected with them.
Return, you know, yeah, here to become the collective Christ as a human family, which is what we are doing. So with that, thank you so much for watching, and I know this is far out and pretty radical, but I just kind of went stream of consciousness to give you kind of a lot of different pieces of it. So blessings, everybody. Much love.
Thank you, Sarah.
Thanks, Ryan.
Yay.
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 Oh my goodness, that was a lot.
You want to give Sarah a hug, Anastasia?
Oh my goodness! A hug! A hug! Oh, there she is.
All right.